Today, we're going to take a procedural vote on Kash Patel's nomination to be director of the FBI. I want to take a few minutes to express my support for his nomination and to urge my Democratic colleagues to consider voting for this nomination. Mr. Patel's resume doesn't look like a normal one for FBI director. But everybody knows in this Congress and maybe in the United States that we're not living in normal times. As I've exposed through my oversight work, the FBI has been infected by politicalization, and this storied agency has been weaponized against political opponents. Mr. Patel's the right man at the right time. His career has been a study in fighting for honors, exposing corruption, and putting America first. Mr. Patel's served as a public defender, a counterterrorism prosecutor under President Obama, and a House staffer. In the House, he worked to expose Crossfire Hurricane as a political hit job that was based on discredited information paid for, would you believe it, by the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign. After exposing the Russiagate scandal in Congress, Mr. Patel then went on to serve as Senior Director of Counterterrorism at the National Security Council, Deputy Director of National Intelligence, and Chief of Staff to the Acting Secretary of Defense. He's fought for transparency and accountability in government. I've fought for this in Congress for decades. That's the right approach, because everybody knows more transparency in government brings accountability by those of us serving in the government. In other words, the public business should be public. Because of his efforts in exposing corruption, Mr. Patel has been relentlessly attacked, as we've seen over the last 2 months. These smears began long before his confirmation hearing. I understand why he's been targeted in this way. He exposed a threat to the existing system, a system that has retaliated against whistleblowers, engaged in unprecedented lawfare against the president and the American people, and obstructed congressional oversight. Mr. Patel will end these abuses. He will restore the FBI to its essential mission of keeping Americans safe. Mr. Patel's vision for a new FBI is why he's been endorsed by organizations representing more than 680,000 law enforcement officers and by dozens of former and current FBI agents, state attorneys general, and U.S. attorneys. They trust Mr. Patel, and we should as well. I urge all of my colleagues to support Mr. Patel's nomination. I yield the floor and suggest the absence of a quorum.